Hey, I'm Josh Goldman, Senior Editor with CNET, and this is a look at the Casio Tryx. Now, the Tryx is definitely a unique camera. For starters, it looks more like a smartphone than a typical point and shoot. It's designed for casual snap shooters, so you won't find manual controls or even an optical zoom lens. What you get instead is a fixed ultra-wide-angle lens and a bunch of automatic shooting options. For example, its high-speed sensor and processors will rapidly shoot a bunch of photos and combine them into one shot, improving things like dynamic range, blur from handshake, and low-light scenes. You also get a full HD and slow-motion movie capture, 360-degree panoramas, and for those that want to get experimental, there's an HDR, that's high dynamic range, HDR art option, that will bump up the contrast and level of color saturation to add some interest to what might otherwise be a boring shot. Of course, it's got regular auto modes too, and its photo quality is decent. Photos can be soft, but they're better than what you'd get with a smartphone. However, the camera features come second to the design. That lens that I mentioned earlier, it rotates 360 degrees inside its frame, while the Tryx's 3-inch touchscreen can swivel 270 degrees. It even writes the image when you flip the camera over so you can shoot with it in your left or right hand. You can rotate the screen around and use the frame as a tripod or hang it on something. It's got a cool pull-down timer too for self-portraits. You just drag it down the screen and it counts out the seconds. It's also got a motion-activated shutter release. That came in handy when I was shooting my daughter, as every time she moved, it set off the timer again for another candid photo. Basically, if you're after a serious point and shoot with excellent photos, this probably isn't the best choice. But if you can see the value in the stuff I've mentioned and your photos and movies are being shared online or as small prints, it's definitely a neat little pocket camera. I'm Josh Goldman, and that's the Casio Tryx.